So this is the basic dynamic hamstring stretch. So I want you to start with your feet even on the ground, not toed out, not totally toed in, but just, slightly. And then you're just gonna lift your other foot to a top of a staircase or to a chair here. So now I want you to think about is making sure that your alignment is correct. So your ankles should be below your knees and your knees below your hips. So I don't want you to start in this position. I want you to start completely so all these joints are stacked on top of each other, okay? So your head, shoulders, everything is above your ankles. So you're nice and tall. Take a deep breath as usual, okay? And now what I want you to do is put your hands on your hips. I'm gonna put my foot here. I'm stacked up. My hands are my hips to show you that, my pelvic bone, what I want my pelvic bone to do is I want it to move back, okay? I want my pelvic bone to move back, and as it moves back, this leg is starting to lengthen, and I'm keeping a slight bend in my knee here, but it's starting to bend, and I'm starting to lengthen everything behind here, okay? And I'm gonna do 5 to 10 of these, and then I'm gonna switch sides so you can see. Again, my right toe is now slightly turned in. My alignment is on top of my ankles. My leg is up. Okay, nice. My knees are bent. And then now I'm moving, slowly shifting my pelvic bone back. And as I do that, I lengthen this leg. And so now I'm getting a stretch in my hamstrings and even into my calf. And if you want an extra stretch, you can pull your toe towards you, and then you come back nice and tall, and then you repeat. So it's this nice and slow, gradual lengthening, and returning back to the standing neutral position, and slowly coming back, lengthening, and neutral position. So this is really important for the pelvic floor because I'm initiating some pelvic movement so that you can return to the normal resting position where your pelvic floor can heal. And your hamstring is often the culprit for you standing like this, okay? Because it's attached to your sit bone, your ischial tuberosity here, and it goes and attaches below your knee. So when it's tight, it's gonna pull you this way. So we are trying to push our hips back out, and you're gonna feel a tight stretch here. And notice my trunk, I'm not bending forward to get a stretch. It's really all the motion is I'm flexing from my hips, and my torso just naturally moves forward a little bit, okay? But my lower back is nice and neutral. It's not really moving. It's really anchoring, and I'm pivoting, and I'm shifting just really my hips. I'm hinging from my hips is what I should say, okay? And I like to hold it for about 2 to 3 seconds, so it's nice and slow. Some people are so tight in this area that they actually can't feel the stretch. And if that's you, don't worry about it, because one of the #1 goals of the dynamic standing stretches is that you start to build muscle memory. And so if you're one of those people that are hypermobile, you still might be tight in different parts of this muscle. It's a huge muscle that crosses multiple joints. So you may be tight in one area and not in another area and not know it. So by turning this muscle on in this dynamic way, after a while, I would say after a few weeks, most people that do this consistently start to say, oh my gosh, I'm starting to feel the stretch, okay? So it's important to do this whether you feel it or not, and it's important that you do it consistently in a dynamic movement motion. So I don't want you to hold it here, okay, at all. I want you to gradually feel like you're moving through molasses and you're tucking your tailbone in and coming back and tucking in and coming back. And it looks easy, but if you haven't done this ever before, you might feel wobbly, you might feel off balance, so you can hold on to something. You can have a chair in the doorway and hold on to the walls. And then also, and once you get to know how to do this better, I will be progressing this in the next step. And that's it.